Yo, it's your boy Tribe. Uh, Tonight, on this episode of The Bakery, the part of Jason O will be played by Nick.
What's up?
Yo, thank you. I'm spoiled. This is two times now in 1 week. We get to do a
Oh
show together.
yeah, for real. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. This should be fun.
Yeah. So I'm not usually would do a recap of the previous week, but you and I did a whole video recapping week 5. So, if you didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to see that, you can go check that out. It's on the Paydirt Discord or Paydirt YouTube. Pardon me. So yeah, we'll just jump right into week 6, which is crazy that we're already 6 weeks into the season. That is nuts to me. But time flies. So here we are. Um, just looking at quarterback. Um, it's interesting. Like we don't have the typical studs. There's no Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson obviously been dealing with injury. And so we have Baker Mayfield at 6.6K at the top of the pricing salary for quarterbacks, which is, I am usually of the opinion that you don't need to spend up for quarterback, but I don't know that I can actually call this like a spend up. So, in that regard, between Baker Mayfield versus this 49ers defense, which has some great individuals, but collectively, I don't think they're that strong of a unit. I don't mind some Baker. You got Dak up here at 6,500. I think you could absolutely play him versus Carolina. Um, Herbert, listen, I get it. Like Omarion Hampton is out. They're going to be running back by committee with like a guy they just signed off the practice squad, I believe, and Vidal or whatever. So you would think that's going to lead to them passing more, but like the A dot has just shrunk for him. Like he's just not throwing the ball downfield and giving his receivers and giving himself, honestly, the opportunity for those that ceiling game that we need in DFS. So at the top end, for me personally, it's probably Baker or Dak. And then outside of that, I'm dropping down. Daniel, I'm just going to continue to play Daniel Jones. I don't care. Paydirt, Darling, Drake May. Only issue I have with him is like, who do you stack him with? I mean, there's Hunter Henry, but like, I'm honestly fine just playing Drake May naked, to be honest with you. Um, our projections don't love him, but Tua down there on the other side versus the Chargers. Sam Darnold, who just won everybody the money, like in the large field GPPs last week. I think he can go right back there. Put them against Jacksonville. Again, projections don't love him, but the fact that he's going to be paired up with Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's probably going to grade out as one of the best receivers just from a projection standpoint, I don't mind going there. Um, Outside of that, though, I don't think I'm dropping below Sam Darnold. Um, I mean, you could probably make a case for some vomit stacks below there, but for me personally, I'm probably stopping there. What about you?
Okay. So to be honest, I've only looked at this slate for about an hour or so. But the first thing that really stands out to me about it, I guess to give a little bit of an overview, is there's really not a lot of like cheap value. Like we don't have 4,700 Rico Dowdle or
Mm-hmm.
4,900 or whatever he was, Rashad White. Like we don't really have those players. Um, what we do have is a bunch of tight ends, and we'll get to that. But me and my large field brain, it just like works something different. But yeah, I definitely don't hate Darnold. I'm not sure I'm entirely sold that this Jacksonville defense is like some juggernaut. Um, to be honest, I don't hate Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate playing him. He's fine. When I've run my Sims with a couple different models, he's popped up in a bunch of them. Trevor Lawrence, I like him. I'm not sure who I would really want to pair with him, to be honest. Like, I'll probably end up playing. Excuse me. I'll probably end up playing BTJ, but like, that is not comfortable.
Right. I was gonna say you don't feel too good about it.
No, you do not feel good about playing Brian Thomas Jr. like at all. But yeah, I mean, Drake May, fine. Like, Justin Herbert looks pretty chalky at the places that I surveyed, besides our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not really
I'm
sure.
sure he's getting love around the industry.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that I'm into it, to be honest. Drake May, I get it. I'm kind of on the same page as you. Like, okay, well, now who do I play with him? Dak Prescott, I like. Although I definitely have some questions about whether Carolina can stay in that game.
That's fair.
And the other problem is, I think if they do stay in that game, it's probably because Rico Dowdle's running pretty well and churning up clock. So there's like I feel like there's somewhat of a negative correlation there. But yeah, I mean, some of the I think you could play Jordan Love. I don't think it's awful.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm sure Jacobs is going to be owned. They're huge favorites. Like, the Packers got a bunch of guys, but like, they do have a somewhat clear. They do have somewhat clear roles for these guys. Like Golden, he's the clear out guy.
Yeah.
Like he's Darius Slayton. Like dude runs down the field. And
somebody's watching Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, and Romeo Dobbs is more of a short area guy. Tucker Kraft has been running a little bit deeper routes this year, which I think is interesting. But really, I'm interested in Jordan Love because, and it'll dovetail into my next point. And this is where I kind of go off the rails. I want to play Joe Flacco. Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, see, here's what I remember. When he went on his playoff run with the Browns a couple of years ago, the story was that he made a mechanical change after he left New York that gave him one of the faster releases in football.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw him get traded and I remembered that, I put that together. I'm like, yeah, okay, like that makes sense. Whether he still has that or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that the dude is a 14-point underdog. He's $4,000, and he's playing for a team that still wants to win games. Like,
yeah,
they're not the Panthers.
I mean, listen, he was willing to air it out with Jerry Jeudy and Njoku. You give him T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and you don't think he's going to be excited to just like throw the ball 40 times?
And this is a very different offense than what Cleveland wanted him to do too.
Yeah.
Like, this is like nobody on Cleveland doesn't have a single guy that is going to win on a slant route. Like, none. Like, they're just not going to get open. But, here you got some guys. And I like he's $4,000. Like, we've seen people, obviously first of all, Dak Prescott is amazing and he deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I don't care what Dallas's record is. He's been incredible. But we've seen teams throw on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't think there's any reason to believe that if the Bengals are way behind, unless they're behind by like 40, I don't see any reason that they're going to just like pull Joe Flacco out of the game in the third quarter.
Right.
Like, you know, they want him to get game reps with the offense and come back next week more prepared. So it's almost better if they do get way behind. To be honest. So I mean, I like that idea because I took a lot of flack for being on Jamar Chase last week. It got there, but it got there in garbage time. And that's fine. All the points are the same, but could certainly see something similar this week. The other guy, first of all, I don't know if I can do Bryce Young. Like, I know you can do Joe Flacco. Why can't you do Bryce Young? Joe Flacco's bad, but at least I know he can air the ball out. Bryce Young is awful.
Also, Joe Flacco he's old. Like, he was a guy who was once good, who was old. Bryce Young is a guy who is young, who we're still not sure if he's actually good.
Yeah, Joe Flacco can still spin a deep ball, but like, Tet McMillan is looks like he's going to be a great receiver, but I don't know if he's going to go anywhere with this quarterback. But the other guy I wanted to highlight, and it's gross, but it's kind of part of the thesis that I came up with when I started looking at this slate, is we're going to talk about some Spencer Rattler.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
He's cheap. He's not 4,000, and he probably isn't going to have a game script, but he's going to run a little bit. They run a bunch of plays at least. I really wish Alvin Kamara were getting more work. First of all,
yeah,
like that's the one real problem that I have with the stack. To be honest, is just there's just only a few guys that you can play with it. I think you can play all of them, frankly. Including Shaheed. I think you can absolutely play Shaheed. And I think he's probably a pretty strong play. But yeah, I think Rattler's kind of the same thesis, is that, we don't have that cheap value with any kind of guaranteed volume. So I think the dirt cheap quarterback is a way to go.
I don't hate it. The last guy I'll mention, just to see your thoughts here, but also at the top end, I didn't even think about this initially, but Matthew Stafford, right? Baltimore's defense is like borderline historically bad. I don't hate like the double stack. He is absurdly expensive this week, but Stafford with Puka and Devontae Adams, like, I don't hate it.
Yeah. He's one of the first guys that popped up for me when I looked at this slate very briefly on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just came to the conclusion that I'm not going to be able to play anybody from the Ravens. I would rather just play Devontae Adams and Kyren Williams and not play Stafford.
Completely viable. I think we've talked about this before. Like, the Rams are definitely one of those teams where you can play multiple skill position guys and not play the QB as part of the stack. Yeah. I
do also, though, think that this is a slate where you could theoretically, you could play a Stafford stack and not play Puka, and then just hope that you're able to use that slot on somebody that's significantly cheaper that has a great game, and maybe Puka gets you 25 points, but dude X that you played instead, or look, you could play Jamar Chase, has 35 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's another route. Stafford's totally viable. I'll probably play some of him. He's a guy that I personally will probably just play at the field. I'm probably not going to win because of him, but I don't want to lose because of him either.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
all right. So, yeah, I think what you're saying though with using the quarterback value in place of like the running back value we had last week to get like a similar type of not roster construction, but being able to unlock like that upside with some of the other guys in your lineup. I think that's a sharp way to go. So pivoting over to running back, um, you know, like you said, we don't have any of these like super cheap guys. DraftKings actually did the right thing this week. We see significant price jumps for Rico Dowdle and Rachaad White. I still think Rachaad White is a great play at 6K. I think you can still play him with Bucky Irving out. I also like Judkins right there in that same range. For me, that's probably where I'm starting at running back this week. I'll add Kyron Williams into that mix at 6,300. Javonte Williams has been, they've come out and said they want him to be like the bell cow. He's earned that bell cow role for the Cowboys. So I don't hate that. Obviously, you got your top end guys, right, with Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey, Devon Achane. Devon Achane is such an interesting play. Like, even last week, right? Like, the rushing was just abysmal, right? 1.6 yards per carry, 16 rushing yards on 10 attempts. But like his floor is just so solid with his passing work because he still gets you 6 catches, 30 yards, and a receiving touchdown. And manages how many running backs, right, are going to be able to get you, 15 plus fantasy points while rushing for under 20 yards. Like it's like him and like Prime Kamara, and those like the two guys that can do that.
no, Rachaad White.
Well, yeah. Right. So, and that being said, that's why I like Rachaad White this week because it's like if that's the case, like I will just take the $1,600 discount, right? I don't know if I can click Jonathan Taylor at $100 more than Christian McCaffrey. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
That's a tough sell for me.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I'm just I'm actually looking at something here. I wanted to get I didn't have the latest on Kyler Murray, but doesn't sound real good for him.
Yeah, I don't think he plays.
Yeah. So I mean, it depends on what his ownership is. If Taylor's ownership is going to be in the 20s, like 20s, mid 20s, I'm not sure I want anything to do with it. Like I think that's a spot where I just want to be under, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And like at 8,500, if he beats me, then he beats me. Like that's fine. I really do like Rachaad White, especially in a Mayfield stack. I think he's great in a Mayfield stack.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get to the other thing I like about that stack later. At least earlier in the week, and it depends what outlet you looked at, some of them really, really like Jaylen Warren. But I think that's a product of how they have the touches distributed. You were talking about Achane. I mean, he's fine. He just seems like a guy I'll be comfortable being under on.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably not going to get 30 points. Like Miami is, I believe, they're the worst rushing offense in the league. Like,
I'd buy that. Yeah.
This is the second year. It'd be the second year in a row they were the worst. They were the worst last year too. So like, if he's doing it with short passes, and I feel like I can get that from somebody cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I would just rather play Rashad White or Kyron Williams, to be honest. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I love Kyron Williams this week. First of all,
he's just flat out underpriced.
Yeah, first of all, after Blake Corum fumble on Thursday night, he's cooked. He's not seeing more than 2 touches in a game for like the next 6 weeks. Like, he's got no leash.
Yeah.
McVay just loves Williams. He's going to feed him. He's going to give him a zillion touches. Like, and if he's catching the ball, Puka Nacua isn't. So I'm here for that. And I mean, the Rams, year after year after year, are one of the most run heavy teams in the red zone every year. Inside the 10, they're usually in the top 2 or 3. Like, in fact, this
is the benefit of having Statue Stafford back there. Like, he's not going to vulture any running work.
Yeah, and just I won't go into that, but I really do like Kyron Williams quite a bit. I like Jacobs, obviously. McCaffrey's numbers are just insane.
Yeah.
Like that. Just, I don't know. Just play Christian McCaffrey. If
you have the money, you're playing Christian McCaffrey. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, I can't fathom who would be more of a priority spend this week for me than McCaffrey. But that's going to be true every week.
Right.
Like, it's the Bucs. They're going to blitz. 49ers offensive line isn't very good. Like, the Bucs have, decent cover linebackers with Levante David and whoever else they have these days. Their cover linebackers are usually good, but McCaffrey is something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, not really an outrageous take that I love him. I think the Javonte Williams Rico Dowdle debate is interesting. Chuba
Hubbard's confirmed out. Did we get that news?
I mean, I haven't seen anything to suggest that he's going to play.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that's the decision between those two guys, because I don't think I can play both those guys in the same lineup.
Dowdle and Javonte Williams.
Yeah. Like, they're both grinders.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really the problem with that game as a whole is neither of these teams want to be airing it out. Both of these teams would rather take the air out of the football and smash into the line and just shorten the game.
Mm-hmm.
Although I said that last week about the Jets Cowboys game, and that somehow got there in the end anyway. But yeah, I mean at running back, do you have any feel about how popular Jeanty's going to be?
I don't think he's going to come in with much ownership at all. Like moderate.
Yeah.
Only because he's going to have moderate ownership because it's the Titans and people are like, Tennessee sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's anything crazy. Like we have him projected right now at around 13%. I think that's probably right.
I like him quite a bit too.
Yeah.
The Titans front seven isn't anything special. Like, they got to throw the ball to somebody. Bowers didn't practice again today.
Yep.
So it doesn't sound like he's going to play. I mean, we'll see. Maybe that changes at the last minute. But
yeah, he got seven targets, seven targets, 5 catches for 42 yards in that last game. With
I mean, maybe this is the Jacoby Myers dead cat bounce game, because like they actually
just to spite you.
That, and it's they might. This game probably doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah.
So, like, but yeah, I don't. I like him. He doesn't project that well. That's probably why he's going to be lower owned. Hopefully, I don't need to dip down that far and get that far away from the well projected stuff. I don't think I'm going to need to.
Yeah, he's also he's at a weird price point too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could just play Kyron Williams or Rashad White for less, and then for slightly more, you can get Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Josh Jacobs is where I would guess people go at that price point.
Yeah. I think hold on. I think I got 3 clear favorites.
Okay. Who you got?
Sorry, I was answering a hockey DM. I'm waiting for the Calgary Flames to put out their
I need that. Listen, man, I need this $2,500
I know.
guy to start.
And I'm looking it up right now. I have our alerts thing. So I'm waiting, trying to see. Okay, here. Let's see if this that's Vancouver. But anyways, so yeah, I think it's Williams, I think it's McCaffrey, I think it's Rashad White. Those are my 3 favorite guys. I think they have the ceiling, and I think the prices are good and they're fair. I don't think it's, I don't think I need to really do anything crazy at running back, to be honest.
No, I feel the same. I feel it. I think it's a little more open. It's more open than it was last week for sure. In terms of, like, last week, it was just very straight up, like, play Dowd or play White, and like ask questions later. Like, I do think there's more room to get a little bit more diverse with your running backs this week, but I still think it's pretty clear, like, where you should be prioritizing. Yeah. And I don't think you don't need to be dumpster diving this week. Like, don't try and guess between Hassan Haskins and Vidal. Don't bother with Warren versus Gainwell. Like, just don't. There's no reason to do those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, hopping over to receiver, man. Puka, good God, 8,700. I mean, he's been Mr. Consistent, right? I mean, this is 2021 Cooper Cup. It's basically that all over again. But that said, where his price is at, like, if he doesn't get you 30 at that price, like, you just wasted money.
Yeah.
Particularly when you got Jamar Chase for 1,000 less, JSN for about 1,000 less, Egbuka, at 7,200. Like, you have 3 guys with similar ceilings, all 1,000 or more cheaper. And then you got Devontae Adams, like, and they're basically like a 1A 1B type of deal for the Rams. So you got Devontae Adams at 6,700. If you want exposure to that game. And, as you said earlier, I think you could, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, and just hope, like, that's where all the production comes from. And, Puka just, has a good game, but it's an average game, not a game, doesn't put up any type of score that's going to kill you at that price point.
Yeah.
As I said on the show in previous weeks, like I do try and find like these combinations. This is really where I like to find my mini stacks, right? Looking at these receivers, looking like who are these top guys like on their teams, and like are those guys playing each other? So we got a couple this week that I'm looking at. Definitely nothing as sexy as Igbuka JSN was last week, that's for sure. But you still got a few options down here. I think Ted McMillan and Pickens is one I'm looking at. You can consider that. I wish I could trust Brian Thomas Jr. because him and JSN would be great. I trust the JSN side, but I have like little to no faith in BTJ.
Yeah.
If Lamar was playing, I think Zay Flowers and Devontae Adams would have been phenomenal. And then one that I'm keeping an eye on, I don't know if you've seen any more recent injury news, but just around the 49ers receivers. The last I saw, like I think Ricky Pearsall is not expected to play. They don't expect him to be back this week. But if he misses, like, I don't think the Kendrick Bourne thing was a fluke. I think if their receiving core is thin, like they like Kendrick Bourne, like he will be their guy that they just get the ball to. Between him and McCaffrey getting passes out of the backfield, and he's I think he's 5K. He's like pretty cheap. Yeah, he's 5K flat. And then, I don't know if Jawan Jennings is back, but Jawan Jennings is 4,800. And again, that's a guy where when they've been short on, the receivers, they don't mind getting these guys the ball, right? And so I think pairing them with Igbuka like makes a ton of sense. And I just really like this game. Like I'm even considering like just going like Igbuka, 49ers pass catcher, McCaffrey, and Rachaad White. Like, I don't even hate like just hoping that game just goes off and getting like all the exposure I can to it. Outside of that, I mean, you got Jalen Waddle, who's like the de facto number one now for Miami. I think I would rather just go Darren Waller for less at the tight end spot. Pittman and Marvin Harrison Jr. are cheap. That would be the cheap combo that I like. And I know Kyler Murray's going to miss. I actually think that might be better for Marvin Harrison Jr., to be honest. Like, I feel like if Jacoby Brissett is the guy filling in, I feel like, I don't know, he's just like the old school, like, prototypical quarterback of I'm just going to feed like my number one guys. Like, I actually have slightly more confidence in Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. Maybe not from a production standpoint or like Arizona's offense being great, but just as far as like them being targeted. Because Jacoby Brissett's not going to run. So, and then Olave is just too cheap. Like the volume's still there. They're running a bunch of plays. Like it's really just been it's been an issue of him just not getting into the end zone. Like if he scores, like the conversation around him so far this season it's a lot different if he gets into the end zone, in some of these games. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm definitely in on the Tampa thing. I think, if we're searching for value here, let me see if he's playing. I know it's a weird play, and I know he's probably not going to project well, but Chris Godwin didn't practice again, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so he's going to be out. It's gross, but I think if you play that, I think you want to do it in the stack. I think Sterling Shepard's probably playable. If you want somebody that's super cheap, he's not going to be glamorous. He's not going to be. It's not going to be sexy. But maybe he gets you 4. Maybe he gets you 5 for 60 balls into the end zone or something. And on this slate, that's probably good enough. I don't know.
Yeah, what's he priced at?
3,800.
Oh, all right. That's a conversation. Because I was gonna say if he's like 44, if he were like 44, 45, I think the same argument applies to Kate Otten, and I would rather just take that for 3,400. But like if they're roughly the same price, like yeah, I think you could play either one of them in the Tampa Bay stack for sure.
Yeah, and Shepard's Baker's guy from back in college.
Yeah, true. You got the shower narrative.
Yeah, that. So that's kind of like bridging that towards talking about the Tampa stack. Yeah, like for me, I will definitely have some stacks that are Mayfield, White, Shepard, and Egbuka.
Yeah.
Like I definitely will, because there are a lot of value tight ends this week, and
yeah,
if you're not paying down a quarterback, you're paying down somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and I think the second roster construction path is going to be, if you're not paying down a quarterback, it's going to be to pay down for double tight end.
Oh, and 2 cheap tight ends.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
So that's kind of the logic of playing Shepard. Is you free up that flex spot potentially for something else. So, as far as guys I like that Seattle Jacksonville game. It's a marquee game, should be close. So yeah, I mean, obviously, JSN's role is insane. Like it's absolutely nuts. Yeah, he's 7,600 now, but I don't really care. Puka Nacua is obviously rock solid. I mean, if he's going to be into the 30s, I don't want to get too far under on him, but if there's a huge gap between him and Adams, that's something I'm going to exploit.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're going to get a pretty significant gap between the two of them. So,
yeah, I mean, Ricky Pearsall, seems like a solid value. The Saints guys, like you said, I like them. There's Ted McMillan, like
he's so talented, but God, dog, that offense and that quarterback are terrible.
They're terrible. It's a terrible pass blocking offensive line too.
Yes,
they're a really good. They're actually an excellent run blocking offensive line. Like they really are excellent, but their pass blocking is just like. I mean, it's bad. It's bad, and that compounded with the quarterback is also bad. It's a terrible situation. I mean, Jalen Waddle's still got a great role.
Yeah.
So if you're not gonna play Javonte, you can play George Pickens. He's been pretty steady. I don't know what I'm doing with these Chargers receivers.
I don't feel like playing roulette with the Chargers receivers. Like if one of them, whatever. If Lad McConkey beats me, so be it.
I mean, I'll say this. I think I'll go if the ownership is low enough. If it's around 10, I'm fine going back to Quentin Johnston.
I do think we get it under 10.
Yeah. I think I will go. If I'm willing to play Brian Thomas Jr.,
Yeah.
I should be willing to play Quentin Johnson.
Hell, if you're willing to play Brian Thomas Jr., you're willing to play any of the Chargers receivers.
I have very little interest in playing McConkey or Allen. I'm going to, but I have very little
you don't
interest.
want, yeah.
I think Keenan Allen is the guy that people play because they feel good and safe and all warm and fuzzy about playing him.
Old reliable.
Yeah.
Old reliable.
Like he's you look at your lineup, he's gonna have 16 points, and you're gonna feel like that's okay. You're not gonna win anything, but
yeah,
you're not gonna feel like he lost it for you.
Yeah.
I think DK Metcalf is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
At that price point. Yeah, the Browns are just going to man up and make you beat them. And Metcalf is as big and imposing of a guy as there is in the league. So, he'll go up there and make a contested catch. So at 5,500, if he's going to be low owned, I definitely like him. I like him quite a bit. Juwan Jennings. Assuming he plays, I like them. I like him. Think he's fine. And then, kind of the things that I've already touched on. I'll circle back to it. I like the Green Bay Cincinnati game. If you're like me and you enjoy pain, you can play Dontavian Wicks at 3,700. That I'll probably be doing some of that. I think what is his price? I didn't even look that far into it. What is Romeo Dobbs' price?
You can't play him or Golden at 52 and 5K.
No, probably not. But you can probably play Kraft.
Yes. Kraft is actually the one I feel the most comfortable with, to be honest with you.
I don't feel good about playing Romeo Dobbs, but
like if I were a Pablo and I had to play a Packer, Kraft would be the one I would feel safe with.
I feel like if Jordan Love gets there at his price, given the prices of these Packers receivers, it's very possible he takes 3 of these guys with him. I think that's possible.
Yeah, so, that's valid. Like if you play Jordan Love, the only way because again, he's black, but he's not a running quarterback. Like, let's cut them. Let's be very clear, right?
Packers aren't that creative.
Yeah, what was our boy Teddy Bridgewater, right? When he was no, he's not running, right? So if he gets there and has a ceiling game, at least 2 of his receivers are getting there and possibly 3. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, I think the relationship between price and Jordan Love's role in the offense kind of just necessitate that being the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing Romeo Dobbs outside of a Jordan Love stack. Absolutely not. I don't think Romeo Dobbs is a very strong play. I think that's the only context that he is viable in.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point to call out. There's a few of these guys where if you're playing them, play them as part of a stack. You are not playing some of these guys as one of even with Sterling Shepard. I think that's a sharp thing. That's a sharp play. If we get confirmation that Godwin is out, and even if he plays, he's probably going to be limited, to be honest, right? But you don't want Sterling Shepard as a one-off. I just don't think. I think to your point, in which we're about to jump over to tight end, I think at that point, just play double tight end.
Hey, woo! Go Dodgers!
Are they doing the thing?
They
doing
won.
the thing. Hey, all right.
Yeah, they
Um,
won. So yeah, we can. But yeah, that's the. Is there anybody else I wanted to mention quickly? Um, yeah, if Bowers is out,
don't do it. Don't do it. You drank
I
the chalice of goat blood, didn't you?
I
You son
can't.
of a.
I can't. I can't. Like it's so hard. Like I know the correct theoretical thing to do is
Just
to
play
play.
Trey Tucker, man.
Yeah, yeah. Or I'll just play T Higgins. Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah,
Oh,
Chase
okay.
and yeah. Like Flacco, Chase, and Higgins.
That's
That's your
that is
stack.
that is that is team sicko for real. I like it.
That's the sicko stack of the week. Those Flacco and those two guys. Maybe
All
you
right.
want to throw in Fant or Jasicki or whatever. Who cares? But yeah, those those guys, sure.
All right. All right. Hopping over to tight end. Oh man. Oh, what the hell happened to my pricing? My bad. All right. So we got. I'm not falling for the Trey McBride trap again. I know I just said like I don't mind it with Jacoby Brissett. Like for in a real life like football standpoint, I'm not. I can't play him. I can't
No,
justify failing 5,500 for Trey McBride this
no.
week. Jake Ferguson, like I guess I don't really want to pay 5,300 for him. Like I loved him at 48. I don't love him at 53. Tyler Warren's getting up there, but Tucker Kraft is probably the guy. Like your Hunter Henry at 43. Absolutely, like I said earlier, I like Drake May is the Paydirt darling. If you're going to stack, like Hunter Henry is probably the guy I stack him with. I don't feel like I'm not chasing the Stephon Diggs thing. I do think that was narrative based. I think they absolutely made a concerted effort to feed him the ball against Buffalo. Um, do I think that continues this week and he has a repeat performance? Probably not. I don't think he's a bad play, but I don't think he's has like a I don't think he's a high ceiling play or a high upside play like that. Um, what else we got down here? The Browns guys, yeah, Njoku, I'm with it. K. Dotton, we talked about like especially if Godwin is out, absolutely, I'm with it. Oh, there was somebody. Somebody is hurt this week. I like Waller. I see he popped up with a Q tag. Juwan Johnson popped up with a Q tag. I
Doesn't
don't
sound
hate.
like
Oh, go ahead.
Does not sound like Bowers is going to play. But it's trending that way. It could change.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't. I honestly was not expecting him to play this week. I mean, if you want to play Michael Myers, it's 31 days of Halloween, so absolutely, I don't hate it. He's cheap. Um, I don't mind Chico Conquo for Tennessee. He's kind of a guy we've been waiting to see break out and get more love. He's like your kind of your stereotypical tight end play guy of like the 5 for 50 and you hope he gets a touchdown to like and like that 16 points is like his ceiling. But he's 3,300, so I'm fine. I'm fine with it if I need to go down there. I'm sure you have some crazy cheap plays for the people. Um, but I'm probably just if assuming Waller plays, I'm probably just locking Waller personally, and
Mm-hmm.
anything other than that is just going to be tied to like whoever I'm stacking.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think Darren Waller looks great. Uh, Johnson looks not as good as he did before all the tight ends were back.
Mm-hmm.
But Ferguson is probably the guy that's gonna carry a ton of ownership. He has been great. There's been a ton of buzz through PFF and ESPN and all these like football outlets about just the crazy numbers he's putting up.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think he's gonna be really popular. Tyler Warren is gonna carry plenty of ownership once again.
Yep.
I mean, he continues to just have like he has a pretty crazy role himself.
He does.
He gets goal line carries sometimes.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that. I don't really know if I want to mess with the Browns tight ends. Like, maybe it's Njoku, maybe it's Fannin. Who knows? Yeah. Like, I mean, I love Harold Fannon's potential as a player. Like, I'm just hoping that my best ball teams really hope that that David Njoku gets traded. Would achieve that way, because that was the whole plan. So we're gonna wait on tight end.
Right.
But I think Kraft is probably my favorite play. He's less expensive than Ferguson and more expensive than Waller. He's priced about the same as Tyler Warren. Hunter Henry seems fine. Just kind of fine. Like, I guess the only other name that I'm going to throw out there, I'm not playing him. But I don't think it's the craziest thing. If Bowers is out, no, you can't. No, you don't need him. No, but you could play Hunter Long at 2,500.
I don't even know what team that guy plays for.
Jacksonville.
Okay. Oh, good. Because, all right, we're on the same wavelength. Because I was going to ask you about this. Brenton Strange is on the. I think he's on the. If he's not on the IR, he's out like multiple games.
Yeah, he's out. Sanders, Jatavian Sanders for Carolina.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yeah, you could play him.
I don't mind the Hunter Long one for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man.
Yeah, he's the stone minimum. Like, I think if you were gonna do like the tight end in the flex thing, I think he makes a lot of sense. To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm just gonna quick look at who else they have at. Okay.
Johnny Moon.
Yeah, they do have Johnny Moon. They do have the moon cake at tight end, but he's more of a block. He's more of a blocker.
Yeah. He was on the Vikings at one point, wasn't he? Am I making that up? Yeah.
No, he was on the Vikings, and he came over to the Vikings with O'Connell from the Rams.
Yeah, but to your point, I think he's been more of like a block. He's more of like the blocking tight end. He hasn't really been like the receiving threat. He's that guy who gets the touchdown on Showdown, and Gordy is like orgasming.
Yeah, I mean, he had a defined role already.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that Strange being out really changes his role all that much, to be honest. So I don't. I don't hate that. That's probably the min price guy that I like.
Okay.
See,
I gotta yell at James Jackson. Oh wait, no, he is Adam. Never mind. I missed him. I thought James didn't have him in the projections, but he does.
Oh, and let me see. Okay, yeah, no, and I checked. You probably can't play Gadsden because Disley's back.
Yeah.
So, probably can't do that. So yeah, that's probably. Oh yeah, and you could if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe since I'm probably gonna be playing a bunch of Bengals, like I'll probably take a stab at Fant and a stab at Gesicki and like these clowns. Like I'll throw them on as the third person on a on the 4-man stack.
Was that like her dating reality show, The Third Wheel? Remember that?
I don't, but if it's not, it should be. Like,
Fantastic.
no, yeah, it should be. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I think again, it's very context specific. You know, I'll do it just because, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna play some of these stacks. I don't want to not have this outcome.
Yeah.
But like outside of this very specific context, I would never consider either of these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
all right. Well, that wraps it up. Defenses don't matter. Play whoever fits. I'm not going to
yep.
sit here and talk about defense. So, all right, let's run over to the Sims. And see what we got. Sims, contest Sims over here at paydirtdfs.com. Make sure you check out all of the tools available. You can see range of outcomes, betting models, pivot finder, stack finder, contest simulations. We got all the goods over here, man. Let's go ahead and run this bad boy. We're going to run it. We'll run it for small field. Small field, very sharp. So if you're playing, you know, something like the Spy, I think they got a 75, the 153 max. You know, contests where you know you're going to be in there with, you know, a fair amount of sharp players. This is the setting I would recommend. So we'll just run this, see what we get. As you can see, pretty fast moving. So we're going to go to our exposures. Let's check like over here. Just go position by position here, looking at exposure. And then you can see the edge over here. So from exposure, a lot of, like I said, Drake May, Paydirt Darling. That's where getting a lot of Daniel Jones makes sense. Like they just won't price him up. Oh, your boy, Jordan Love. Jordan Love pops up. And Trevor Lawrence. I think you called out both of them.
Yeah.
You know, like pretty flat. Like Drake May and Daniel Jones. And then, to be honest, it's pretty flat between Jordan Love down, all the way down here to Justin Herbert. Sorting by edge. Not a ton of edge to be had at the quarterback position, but number one edge, your boy, Joe Flacco.
Oh yeah,
Joe Cool. All right.
I ran the large field version of this. he was number one. He was like the fifth highest exposed quarterback. He's like,
all right, worst edge, Justin Herbert. That makes we talked about this. Like he's going to be chalk. His ADOT is down. Yeah, he might throw it a bunch, but every pass is going to be like for 4 yards. So like, you know, negative edge also on Trevor Lawrence. Daniel Jones, like this is, you know, interesting. High exposure, but negative edge. When you see that, like just be mindful of how you're playing him. Something like this, like I'm for sure stacking him with Michael Pittman, who I don't think is ever going to come in all that highly owned. I would avoid playing Daniel Jones naked. I would probably avoid playing him with Tyler Warren, who we think is going to be one of the chalkier tight ends this week. So just something to be mindful of there. Going over to running back. Expect Christian McCaffrey. Like we both said it. If you have the money, you're playing Christian McCaffrey. That is it. Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Rico Dowdle, Rashad White. Like, look, yes. Like this trio right here, Kyron Williams, Rico Dowdle, Rashad White, you're picking two of those three, and that's where you're starting with your running backs this week. Don't ask questions, just do it. And then Javonte Williams, who again, I think he's a strong play. Again, they want to give him that bell cow role. Edge, Christian McCaffrey, because he's just not going to be as highly owned as he should. That's all this saying. And then like it falls off a cliff. Really not much edge on any other guys, but negative edge. Jaylen Warren don't even bother playing that guessing.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not see that Chase Brown is down to 5,600.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you think the offense overall gets an efficiency boost with Joe Flacco over Jake Browning, it's viable.
I think that I would play him. I think that I would play him again only in the stack.
Okay.
I don't think I would play him outside of the stack.
Fair enough.
So
Negative edge, Ashton Genty. That's interesting.
yeah.
Okay. ETN, I honestly like I have no interest. So, but then you see a couple of these guys, right? Like Kyron Williams, Rashad White, similar thing, right? High exposure, negative edge doesn't mean don't play him. Just means be mindful of like how you're building out the rest of your lineup if you're playing those guys. Moving over to wide receiver, Puka Nakua, JSN, Olave. He's just too cheap. Pearsall, is it Pierce? Like I'm piercing my ears? Okay. Not pear, even though it's spelled like pear. English is stupid, whatever. Um, High expo, but you see like massive negative edge on Pearsall, right? Puka Nakua, highest exposure, highest edge. I mean, okay. I do not try and jam in Puka in CMC. It's gonna be just detrimental to the rest of your build. But either one of them is fine. Saving salary though, like JSN, like 25% exposure, 10% edge, like same thing, like high edge, high exposure. This is and over $1,000 less. Like this is why you heard us saying like, there's really nobody comparable to Christian McCaffrey, but you have guys that are comparable to Puka Nakua over here. Negative edge. If we look at negative edge, the San Francisco guys. I think this is just a function of where we have their ownership at right now. So just be mindful of that. Like that it's going to be dependent on what their ownership actually is, based on that determines what their edge ends up being. If either one of these guys misses, though, again, I do really like Kendrick Bourne there. Tight end, Jake Ferguson, no surprise there. Honestly, Tucker Kraft, your boy, Tyler Warren, Trey McBride, meh. I mean, I get it. Hunter Henry, Jawan Johnson, Darren Waller, like all the guys, pretty much named all of those guys. Negative ed. Hunter Long, real. Oh, we have him actually like somewhat owned. If he comes in closer to 3%, which I feel like he should, unless we see people steaming with just bare min tight end.
I think you're gonna see those double. I think you're gonna see him simulate really well.
Yeah.
As we get towards Sunday, and I think you're gonna see. Like I think you're gonna see like some Ferguson long lineups simulate really well. Like I think you're gonna see some of that.
That makes sense considering that we got Ferguson, McBride, Warren, and Kraft who are all on the upper end here, like popping up. Both in projected ownership, but then also just in Sims exposure. You're probably right that you're going to get a bunch of 2 tight end builds with Hunter Long at the stone minimum. So yeah. Yep. So that's where we are. If that's the case, then I'm probably looking to avoid that, to be honest. If that's going to be a chalkier roster construction.
Yeah. I think
I'm fading. Like if it's Ferguson who's at 5,300, I'm probably looking to just find like a receiver in that same range.
Yeah, I mean, I would look. I'll put it to you this way: I would rather play. I don't know if and I can't imagine I wouldn't have the $200. Like, but I would rather play DK Metcalf at 5% than Ferguson at 30.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like if the chalky build path looks like it's going to be like Hunter Long and Jake Ferguson in the flex with a 2 tight end build. Yeah, like I would rather just find the extra 200, get DK Metcalf in there. There's receivers with ceilings in that range for sure. So yeah, that's a look at the Sims. I'll let you lead with our final thoughts. Any final thoughts you have for the people for week 6?
I just want to clarify that I talk about these things like Spencer Rattler and Joe Flacco stack. You got to be in a large field tournament to play this, okay? Like you have to be in like the $20 Millie Maker or the Flea Flicker or the Play Action, or it's got to be at least 20,000 entries, like to play stacks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just don't need them. And I did just want to clarify that.
Oh no, I mean that's a very good point, right? Like be mindful of your contest selection and what contests are you playing, and build in the context of the contest that you're playing. If you're playing, if you won some tickets, so like I don't even know if they're running the $4,000.
They are
with the what I'm talking about. Yeah, what is it, the 4,444 joint? Like, no, you're not playing a Joe Flacco stack in there.
Yeah. Now, if they were running like the 555, where it's like 6,000 entries, and it's $1 million up top, and it's 35 or 40% to first, or something like hilarious.
Yeah.
Then
I think you can consider it. Yeah.
Then you can consider it. You can also consider stacks like that if it's very top heavy.
Yep. If you're throwing like a few lines, you got like 3 entries in like in the queue for the live final, right?
Yeah.
I think you can absolutely do it there, where it's essentially a winner take all format, right?
Yes. I guess to sum it up is, with all the double tight end builds, I do think that there is merit to builds with the cheaper quarterbacks and stacks with multiple cheap receivers. And that's really where the Bengals, the Saints, and the Packers come into play.
Good stuff.
So,
yo, I appreciate you. This is Tribe. It's been Nick. Good luck out there in these NFL streets. Peace.